right. Hey, welcome to the Just Listen I'm Pissed Saturday podcast. Jump on into the channel. It is July 18th, 2026. Today's temperature is going to be 93 degrees with the real feel of humidity being 108 in Florida. Yo, I got to say this. Welcome to the channel. Anybody that's joining, I appreciate you coming on to the channel today. This is an I'm Pissed Saturday. I do these usually on Saturdays between the hours of 10 and whenever I feel like it. So welcome to the channel. Hey, I got to tell you this. Yeah. I went on vacation, had to get away, guys. I had to get away, had to just block out the politics noise. And so my family and I, we had already set up a cruise for us to go cruising. And so, I had to get away from politics for a little bit. So we did a cruise with Celebrity. I posted a video on that. I posted a video for us cruising in Celebrity. So it was a 4-day, 5-night, something like that type of cruise. And it was really good time. I had a really good time with the family. It was just nice to unplug from the everyday hustle and bustle of life. So, I always tell people that, take care of your mental health, take care of yourself, take care of, your family. Always try to recalibrate, because as we know, in this day and time, 2026, 2025, and after November of 2024, shit hit the fan in America. Basically shit hit the fan around the world. So, I definitely enjoyed myself with my family. It was 14 of us. And I know I said on my video that it was 15. I don't know where we was getting that extra number from, but it was a crew of us. My wife, our 2 boys, my mother-in-law, and her kids. She had all her children with us. And so, a couple nephews, actually 3 nephews, my brother-in-law, his wife, my other brother-in-law and his wife, and of course, their daughters, nieces. It was a good time. So like I said, welcome to this I'm Pissed Saturday. If this is your first time joining the channel, give me some thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I do appreciate any support to the channel. So if you want to do any super chats, super thanks, I appreciate that. So what's going on? Flat Out Gaming 6, what's up? How's it going? Listen, guys, just do me a favor, post in the comment section where you're from. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know, how life is going wherever you're from. It don't matter what other country you're in, wherever you're at, let me know what's going on with you. As you can see in the thumbnail, we got quite a bit to talk about. It's thriller time. It's thriller time for this I'm Pissed Saturday. I'm going to dive into a couple of things of why I'm pissed off this Saturday. Hopefully you're as pissed off as I am. I mean, in this day and time, it is crazy how things are just getting worse for people in America and around the world. Unless you're rich, or unless you are part of your CEO, a COO of a corporation, to where you can reach out to the fascist dictator in chief, Tangerine Palpatine, Sir Von Schitzenpants. If you can reach out to him and you can do pay for play, just like they've been doing since Donald Trump got in office for the second time. We're going to dive into that too. But yeah, let me know, post in the comment section. I'll give you guys a few minutes to hop on. Hey, share this with your friends. Share this with people that are up right now and would like to, enjoy me ranting and being pissed off on this Saturday. So, I definitely welcome everybody to the channel. Yeah, I think, and let me know in the comment section, guys. I think Mitch McConnell's dead. And I have some information here that I'm going to talk about. That man ain't here. And the Republican Party is so scared and terrified. And I have to tell you this, they are scared for a reason. They are very scared. What's up, Ryan? What's going on? They are scared. because the American people are pissed off. The American people, the Republican Party, and the Democrats, some of the established Democrats too are shitty, but the Republican Party is so terrified that they continue to keep hiding shit from the American people. They continue to keep hiding the death of politicians from the Republican Party. They continue to hide that because they are afraid of what's going to take place in the midterms. Now, I hear the words of people saying, you know, hey, the Democrats are going to win the Senate. The Democrats are going to win the House. They might not win either one of those two. They're going to win both. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want. I want the Democrats to, it should be the biggest blue wave that the United States has ever seen. I want the Democrats to take both the House and the Senate. And I'm pretty sure that people are watching me right now. They want the same thing. They want the Democrat Party to take the House and the Senate. Why? Because the Republican Party, the do nothing Republican Party, they have not done anything since Donald Trump got back in office. This has been the most productive party of Congress that have both chambers, the House and the Senate, that has not passed any proposals and bills to help the American people. It was documented that in 2025, the Republican Party, because they have the House and the Senate now, we have to keep that in mind. We can be pissed off with the Democrats as much as we want to. We can be mad as hell at the Democrats as much as we want to, but they don't attain the power that the Republicans have. The Republicans have both chambers, so they can pass whatever they want to pass. That's why the big ass ugly bill was passed that has caused so many issues already in the United States. And they said, oh, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, you know, shit like that from the Republican Party. Getting their base to be sold on, yes, we're not going to get any tax on tips, no tax on overtime. I need that. But then there's a clause within that no tax on tip and no tax on overtime to where that person that said, this is what I voted for, turns back around and they say, what the fuck? I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for the no tax on tips to be a clause within me to get my refund or me to get, you know, not taxed on my tips. Or what the hell? I thought that if I get overtime, it's not going to be taxing my overtime. But see, the Republican Party is in the bag for corporations. They don't work for the American people. The Republican Party does not work for the American people. That's why you see that they did nothing in 2025 to pass bills to protect the American people until 2026. They passed a bill to ease up in regards to the housing for people to become homeowners. And Donald Trump's bitch ass did not want to sign that. He did not want to sign that bill, which they had everything set up. They had everything laid out. It was going to be a Friday. This Friday, Donald Trump was going to have this signing where it was going to be public and that people can see on the TV screen or whatever. And it was going to be a celebration from the Republican Party. They had to cancel that shit because Donald Trump's bitch ass did not want to sign a bill that was going to help homeowners, was not going to pass that bill and not sign that bill because he wants to disenfranchise people in America because he claims voter fraud and all this bullshit. He didn't sign that bill on that Friday. And the Republican Party before that Friday were jumping up and down like this is a win for the American people. But they hitched their wagon to the wrong person and the wrong candidate. And that was Donald Trump. Donald Trump said, fuck you to America. I'm not signing that damn thing in regards to helping the American people. That's what Donald Trump did. He said, middle finger to America. Middle finger to the people that are wanting to try to buy a house, the people that are upset that these houses are being bought up by Blackwater or BlackRock and that they're being rented out instead of people being able to buy these homes. Donald Trump said, screw you, America. You remember what Donald Trump said when he was asked about the affordability and that housing bill? He said, oh, it's a yawn. He said, oh, well, I'm not worried about that right now. That's a yawn. Oh, it's a yawn. And the countless times that Donald Trump fell asleep in the Oval Office. I heard that this dude fell asleep at the G6 summit or G7 summit. I heard that he fell asleep. This asshole spends more time falling asleep on TV than he does working for the American people. Come on. Come on. Working for the American people. MAGA is upset. And what we tell MAGA, we say you F8, FO, because Donald Trump does not care about you. All the lies that Donald Trump says day in and day out, and you guys still want to believe this man is going to be helping you out. Here in the United States, we have more unalivings from farmers. We have more housing foreclosures because people cannot afford to keep up with their bills. We have an increase in everything, guys. Increase in food, increase on household goods, increase on our electricity and our bills. There's an increase everywhere across the board in the United States. Beef is like up 40 to 50%. The only thing that is down are eggs. But who in the hell is going to have steak without having eggs? You know what I'm saying? Beef. I don't eat beef like that. I do ground turkey, ground chicken, because it's cheaper. But when I looked at the beef prices for like a steak or something, or even ground beef or chuck of ground beef, it is ridiculous. But Donald Trump says that he doesn't care about the affordability of the American people. When we have Americans that come on TikTok, Facebook, crying about, sir, I voted for you and we're hurting here in America. The prices aren't going down like you said they would. Gas is high and I have to drive back and forth to work day in and day out. Sir, I voted for you. When are you going to help us here? When are you going to help the American people? When are you going to bring the gas prices down? When are you going to bring the grocery prices down? And Donald Trump says, yawn, I don't care about the American people's affordability. I don't care about the American people's. The only thing I'm worried about, excuse me, the only thing I'm worried about is Iran not having a nuclear weapon, which they were so close to having a nuclear weapon. And we can't have that in America. We can't have that. We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. You see, excuse me, guys. I'm getting hoarse here, getting pissed off. Donald Trump, and if the people that voted for Donald Trump thinks that things are going to get better, they got another thing coming. They have another thing coming. You see these rich assholes out here, these dickheads that are on like Fox News, CNN, CSNBC or NBC or whatever, CBS. These assholes don't have to worry about where their finances are coming from. They get paid handsomely. But you and I, the average and below average citizen, because I'm below average, I'm going to keep it real. The below average citizen that has to go back and forth to work every day, whatever time we had to get up to go to work, whatever time we get off from work, we see that our increase in pay is not getting better. And that's why in my honest opinion, mainstream media is doing a very big disservice to the American people. They're not covering the things that they should be covering. That's why I could never be on mainstream media talking to a bitch ass Scott Jennings. I could never be in a mainstream media sector talking to any of these conservative pundits that talk about things are getting better. Look at the job report. Look at how many jobs have been increased. Because I'm going to cut them right off, and they're going to have to go to that little screen, because that's when I go right the hell off. And I'll keep it 100% with them. What in the fuck are you talking about? Do you see how much gas prices are? Do you see that we're still having a war with Iran on behalf of Bibi Netanyahu, and it's not real? Do you know that there are other presidents that Bibi Netanyahu has tried to convince that they needed to start a war with Iran, and that all those other presidents said you need to sit your ass down? And here we have Donald fucking Trump, the most lyingest president of my lifetime, probably ever. You have Donald fucking Trump to say we had to bomb and kill 160 plus children in Iran because we didn't want them to have a nuclear weapon. We didn't want them to have a nuclear weapon. Iran wasn't fucking worried about us. Barack Obama had the JCPOA set up to where it was a sweet deal for the American people to be protected because we had surveillance over there in Iran. Donald Trump jacked that all the way to Sunday. Donald Trump jacked that all the way up on behalf of It's Not Real and Bibi Netanyahu. You know, when Barack Obama was president, Bibi Netanyahu, I guess whoever is part of their intelligence and It's Not Real, contacted the United States and said we had the planes ready to go. We had the planes ready to go and go attack Iran. And you know what was the boss move for Barack Obama? The one that the Republicans hated, and the one that dead Mitch McConnell said that we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that he's a one-term president. He told Bibi Netanyahu, you better sit your ass down. You better sit your ass down if you do anything over there in Iran. If you even think about taking airplanes and flying over to Iran and do anything to provoke them, we're going to remove any funding and we're going to sanction your fucking ass, and then we're going to have you in court. You better sit your ass down. That's what Barack Obama did. That's what Barack Obama did. And guess what? Joe Biden, even though I have my very big issues with Joe Biden was a really good president for us. He got us out of a pandemic, something that Donald Trump got us into. He got us out of a pandemic, and we were the fastest growing country out of any country in the world. Countries were reaching out to Joe Biden and the Biden administration with Kamala Harris, trying to find out, how did you do it? How did you get your GDP up to I forgot what the percentage was of the GDP. How did you get jobs increased the way you did? How did you guys get out of the pandemic so fast in recovery? That's because Joe Biden was a competent president. That's because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris had a great team of people in their administration to help the United States recover faster than any country in the world. It only took Donald Trump 1 year to destroy our economy. Hell, it took him less than 1 year to destroy our economy. It took Donald Trump, Liberation Day in April was a start of something really bad in the United States. Besides Donald Trump having Elon Musk's bitch ass. Where is he at? Where the fuck is Elon Musk at? Elon Musk going in and destroying our governmental processes and systems on behalf of Donald Trump and all the rich assholes, the rich racists in Project 2025. Dismantling our governmental processes to where we are in a position now that we are already in a recession, guys. Post in the comment section. Do you think the United States is in a recession? Yes or no? Do you think that the American people, with the 1 million+ jobs that were lost in 2025, with the lying within this administration, that we cannot trust anything that they say about the economy getting better, when the economy was great before Donald Trump got back in office, before independents, before people that voted for Biden in 2020 to people switching their tone and voting for Donald Trump in 2024. For all those motherfuckers that sat the couch in 2024, do you think we are in a recession? Those individuals that decided to not vote, those individuals that decided to say, you know, Joe Biden had this economy so fucked up, as an independent, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump because he's going to continue to lie to my face. And I believe him when he say that he's going to get gas down to under $2. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for some chats here. Let me know, is the United States in a recession? And also, let me know what country you're from. Let me know what country you're from. Shit's bad here in the United States. I'm in Florida. For one, it's hot as hell. And I'm sitting in my car. I like to do my lives in the car. My wife is working today, so I didn't want to be downstairs in our patio talking shit and cursing and everything because she don't like when I curse. She don't like when I curse. I'm like, baby girl, you know, sometimes I get so emotional. I get so pissed off at everything that's taking place in the United States. And we in the United States are an embarrassment to the world. We are very disliked amongst countries that don't side with Donald Trump. Canada can't stand us. Mexico despises us. I'm talking Australia, they can't stand us. United Kingdom, they have their racism issues as well. But the United Kingdom is pissed off as well. France, Italy, Germany, the African states or African countries, you know, whatever you want to call it. Latin America, Central America, China, you know, Asia, the Asian areas. We are not liked whatsoever. Thanks to Donald Trump and his bitch ass administration. They lie, they lie, they lie. Is America in a recession, guys? Yes, we are in a recession. We are in a recession. The June job reports, we only added 52,000 jobs in America for the June jobs report in 2026. That's not good. That's not good. And we're not even in the pandemic. Like, we're not in any kind of pandemic to where the country has to shut down. We're not in anything to cause us to only add 52,000 jobs in June of 2026. I guess AI is just ripping through everything. AI is taking over. AI, you know, is causing lots of people to lose their job. My brother-in-law, he worked in IT. He lost his job to AI. Thank God, you know, he's a smart man. He got his own business. You know, he actually was working on that in the background in regards to his own business. So thank God he's working. But just imagine those individuals that lost their job to robot replacement that are still out here looking for a job. If you're not in a big city and you're not willing to sacrifice to get paid less than what you usually get paid, you're in a world of hurt right now. Thanks to the artificial intelligence. Guess what? In the big, beautiful bill, one of the bills within that big ass, beautiful, ugly ass bill, the United States, the Republican Party, let me rephrase that. The Republican Party added in that bill that artificial intelligence cannot be fucked with for 10 years. That's what the Republican Party did. And now you see all these AI data centers sucking up the resources in areas where these individuals heavily voted for Donald Trump. Like Utah, for example. They heavily voted for Donald Trump. And now they might not have a Lake Tahoe. They have a residence of 50,000 people that the source of energy that they usually would get from the private company said, hey, you got a year, you got 1 year, and you need to get your energy source from somewhere else in Utah. Republican Party does not care about your demise. That's why the man in where was he at? In Oklahoma? I forgot what city, or excuse me, what country he was in. The man in Oklahoma, a farmer, confronting the people sitting on a panel that's part of their government, and you know, part of their local government. He was confronting the people in that particular state, and he went over like a few seconds of him talking about why AI data centers should not be built in his area, and they arrested him, going over a few minutes, a few seconds of his time to address his concerns to the people that his tax dollars pay for on why the AI data center should not be built in their area, taking away their farmland. And they arrested that man. That's what they voted for, because Utah, Oklahoma, all these particularly red states that overwhelmingly vote for their own destruction, they are getting fucked over. But they voted for their own demise. They voted for their own fuck over. They voted for their own FAFO. That's what I can say. And so these AI data centers that are going up, Tennessee, Texas, here in Florida, West Virginia, these places are being demolished. Like Mother Nature is being stripped away from these people. And we have to rely on green energy. We have to rely on Mother Nature. We have to rely on that stuff. And they're getting demolished. National forests being, trees being knocked down to build for these AI data centers. And you had the bitch ass Canadian billionaire, Kevin O'Leary, who was trying to build an AI data center that was like 4 or 5 football fields long. No, more, excuse me, more than that. It was like a whole bunch of football fields. And he was going to try to build this AI data center in Utah to fuck them over a lot more than what they've been jacked up. You know, people need to pay attention to politics, and like I said, support the channel. Super chats. If you want to do a super chat, I'm going to read your chat before I read anybody else's, straight up. Donations, I'll take donations. Listen, I ain't too proud to beg. But anyways, I'm just like, you know, I went on vacation. My wife and I, we did a cruise with our family, and we went to Key West, Florida. Okay, now I've never been to Key West. I know it's a island off of the coast of Florida. We went to Key West, Florida, man, and I'm telling you, these individuals, they have money there. Like, if you are not a servant that's working for some of these people that live out in these islands, these people have money. So I don't believe that they are feeling the effects of what we living in particular states are feeling in regards to financially being stable. These look like, you know, these homes, and I did a video, so check that video out because it was really nice for me to get away. Politics is draining. Politics, thank God I only got a few gray hairs here. You see them? You see the grays coming in? I'm letting it grow out. But politics, you have to pay attention to politics, especially a person who don't know what bills are being passed, you know, what your government is doing for you, both locally and federally. And also you have to pay attention to politics because you need to know who's got your best interest at heart. You know, I live in a red state to which I hope we don't have a Byron Donalds as a governor. I hope and pray that we do not have a Republican as a governor here in the state of Florida. Our property taxes, my wife and my property taxes, they inch up every year. And Ron DeSatan said that he was going to be working for Floridians here. Only thing that I've seen that Ron DeSatan has done for the state of Florida is cause more and more divide between Floridians because he wants Donald Trump light. He's a racist piece of shit, and I can't stand him. He has not done anything for the state of Florida besides try to destroy public education, try to include racism in the schools, trying to divert funding to private and charter schools. Him and his wife had a foundation where he took pandemic money and put it towards her campaign, to which I am so glad that Casey DeSantis is not running for governor for the state of Florida, because I don't want to have another DeSantis as governor here for the state of Florida. Every year, our insurance goes up. Not health insurance, but health insurance is high as hell, thanks to the Republican Party as well. Life insurance, car insurance. Hell, there are so many different car insurance providers in the private sector that don't want to take on Florida drivers. And it's not that we drive bad. I'm gonna just say it. I don't drive bad. I drive good. I'm a freaking old man when it comes to getting on the road. But yeah, Ron DeSantis, I don't want to have a Byron Donalds as a governor here. And let me give you some information about Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds is a con artist as well. He's also a criminal. You know, he did get in trouble with drugs. I think it was marijuana, maybe, where he did have a charge in regards to marijuana. But then yet he wanted to add a stricter punishment on individuals that get arrested for a small crime in regards to having marijuana on them. Byron Donalds, the liar, the cheater, who you know, he's not like me. He is a raccoon. He is one of those individuals that Malcolm X talked about. He's the house, you know, he's the house raccoon. He's the one that say, "Oh, boss, oh, our house burned down. Oh, boss, we ain't got enough food." While he says, "F the workers out there in the field," even though the workers look like him. Byron Donalds is a piece of shit person. This is the man who thinks that Trump can do no wrong. So we got to say this. Byron Donalds is a pedophile protector. He's a pedo protector. He is a man that wishes he was another race, wishes that he was another color. Byron Donalds said that back in the Jim Crow time frame, the black nucleus of the black family was better during the Jim Crow time frame. And I'm like, the fuck is he saying? Is he being serious that he thinks that back in the Jim Crow time frame, just like dumbass Brandon Tatum, I'm not even gonna call him officer, Pudgy Brown is a piece of shit too. He said that. And I said, back in the Jim Crow era, I'm thinking to myself, back in the Jim Crow era, we had black men and women who weren't able to vote, or they had to pass a litmus test to vote. Back then, when racism was at an all-time high, well, you can say it hasn't changed, honestly. Back when racism was very alive and prevalent, to where black families were being broken up because they wanted to put the black man in the prison system for anything, any little thing that they did wrong. You had in the Jim Crow era where you had to pay a poll tax, where if you as a black man or woman, if you wanted to go and vote, you had to pay a poll tax. You had to pass like a fucking reading test. And a lot of these MAGA individuals right now, they can't even pass a reading test. The MAGA people that are here today probably have a 4th or 5th, 6th, 7th grade education, and they cannot read. Americans do not read and cannot read, for real. Yet black Americans, black and brown people, black men and women had to do all these things to jump through hoops to vote because of white supremacy, because of people afraid of the black man and woman voting in for everybody's life, voting in for everybody's success. Because that's what us black people do. We're not selfish individuals here. Yes, of course, we do have some black people that are selfish, that only think about what's good for them. But the whole body of the African-American community, we accept everybody. We accept everybody, no matter what color they are. That's just how black individuals have been. We were the start of people coming from other countries to come and try to live the American dream. And if you got a problem with that, I don't care. I don't care. Black men and women have died and fought for this country, for equality for everybody. Now, I know and understand that, you know, there were issues with the LGBTQ community within the black community, and how, you know, some black Americans or some people of my color, of the hue of skin color that I am, had animosity towards the LGBTQIA community. However, things have changed big time. Things have changed big time. Black people try to include everyone. That's why we fought for the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, affirmative action. That's what black Americans have done for every single person that come to this country. No matter who you are welcomed here. It didn't matter about borders. if you are a good citizen, if you're a good person in America, you come to this country and you do right and you live right and you are kind to people, black people accepted you. Now we have to be hesitant on who we can say is invited to the cookout. We have to be hesitant, and I'm definitely hesitant. I pay attention to my surroundings and the people I'm surrounded around, because not everybody can be invited to the cookout, because they look at the black man and woman as inferior to them. They look at the black man and woman as the criminal. They're okay with saying the N-word in their house and then thinking that it's okay to say the N-word out in public because it's just a fucking word. That's what we have when we have individuals that we are so cool to invite to the cookout. And they're like, well, the N-word isn't that bad. It's just a freaking word. No, the fuck it's not. It's more than just a freaking word. The N-word in history, in the history that I studied and paid attention to, the N-word was the lowest of the low that you can call a black man and woman besides the B-word to a woman. The N-word was used in regards to making the black man and woman inferior to white supremacy. The N-word was used when they were hanging my brothers and sisters up in the trees while they had a public viewing with women, children, and kids there. White women, children, and kids there at a picnic under a person of my color hanging from a fucking tree. That N-word where you as a young man and woman couldn't look a white man and woman in the eyes. And if you did, you could have got the whip, you could have got beat, or you could have lost your fucking life. That's why I don't use the N-word anymore. I refrain from using the N-word because that N-word means a lot to me. And if anybody says the N-word around me, that is a white man, Asian person, Latino person, it is on. First, I'm going to educate you about that N-word, and then it might be hands to face, because that word means a lot. That's why I stopped using that word. I refrain from saying that word even around my boys, because I think about the history and the past of my ancestors and what they had to deal with in the blazing heat out in the fields 12, 14 hours out of the day. And they're getting called the N-word and getting whipped to back because they didn't pick fast enough. That's what that word is used for. That word, the N-word, is a demeaning connotation to what my ancestors had to deal with during the slavery time, chattel slavery. Whenever they had to be sharecroppers, whenever it came to Jim Crow. Just like Harriet Tubman, man, some of these raccoons will be left behind for real. Some of these raccoons will be left behind. But I'm going off on a rant, guys. Hey, let me know where you're from. Hop on in and just say, hey, hey, what's up, Walt? I'm from this state. I'm from this country. Let me know how everything is going where you're at, because I'm about to get ready to dive into the man that we're trying to figure out if he's still here or not. I got some information for you. Rest in peace, Lindsey Graham, too, by the way. I know he is not up in heaven. In my hearts of hearts, Lindsey Graham is not up in heaven. Wow, my phone keeps dinging off here. Hey, listen, give me some thumbs ups. If you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, do so. If you see what I do here, I do this for not only the black community. I try to do this for everybody, because we all need to be informed. We all need to be aware. Women have lesser rights than they did back in 2024. Hell, back in 2023, because the Supreme Court said that we're going to leave abortion to the states. And then all the red states jumped in on it and said 6-week abortion ban, 8-week abortion ban. And now we have women that are losing their life and they're dying because they can't get the healthcare assistance that they need from their fucking doctors. Women have lesser rights. Black women, white women, Asian women, women that live in America have lesser rights now than they did in 2023. And guess who is that because of? That's because of the fucking piece of shit 6 Supreme Court justices that are Republican. These 6 Supreme Court justices, I'm going to let you know this. Every single one of them, from the tap dancing raccoon Clarence Thomas all the way down to the Mormon wife Amy Coney Barrett, every single one of them pieces of shit don't care about people of color. They don't care about women. Even Amy Coney Barrett don't care about women. You know why? Because she's safe. Amy Coney Barrett is safe because she's a Supreme Court justice who did not qualify for the job. She wasn't fit to do the job. She has nowhere near the inkling of intelligence, knowledge, and the background like a Ketanji Brown Jackson. Amy Coney Barrett does not have the fucking, she can't put a light to candle to Ketanji Brown Jackson. Every single one of those Supreme Court justices knew exactly the assignment and what to do in regards to Project 2025. Every single one of them. And we're seeing it day in and day out with their Supreme Court rulings when it comes to America's freedom, women's freedom, Black people's freedom, Latino people's freedom. That's what the Supreme Court justices have done. Every single one that you look at in regards to any of the rulings that affect the American people, whether you're a woman or whether you're a person that looks like me, every single one of them, it has been Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, Clarence Thomas. Those three pieces of shit don't give a fuck about the American people. And, you know, Clarence Thomas, who got money from the racist Harlan Crow, he don't give a fuck about Black people. He is the Django. He is the Steven from Django. If he's Uncle Ruckus off of the Boondocks, he is that man. If Clarence Thomas could have one wish, Clarence Thomas' wish would probably be to turn himself into Sammy Sosa when Sammy Sosa bleached his skin. For real. That's what Clarence Thomas, all these raccoons who do not speak up for their community, the Black community, who do not take up for any of the stereotypes that are negatively impacting the Black community. All these raccoons, like your pudding pop boy, Roly Poly Tatum, these motherfuckers, if they had to wish one wish from the genie in the bottle, they would say that they would wish to be a white person. That's what they would do. They would wish to be a white person. They would wish to be as white as snow. Especially these motherfuckers that are call themselves conservative. These assholes that say that they are for family values and that they are conservative and that they're Christian. Like who's your one ugly ass dude that be talking about it? He was about to get into it with somebody posted in the comment section. You wear glasses. I think he's from Detroit, Michigan or something like that. Anton Daniels, ugly ass. He's monetizing off of Black people by talking about Black people negatively and depicting that, oh yeah, Black people living in the hood, they have the most highest crime rate and there are the most people in prison, that Charlie Kirk's bitch ass would say, hey Charlie, I hope you're burning down there. But he don't give the full extent of the information. Black people have the most exonerations from being put in the prison system because Black men and women, we are reviewed as thugs and criminals, and we get locked up for something that we didn't do. Black people, Black and brown people have the highest exonerations, but you know who commits the most crimes in America? They don't look like me. And we're talking about all crimes, not just murder, because, you know, a lot of times these racist assholes want to talk about murder and shit like that, but they don't talk about the pedophilia that you see amongst the white community, amongst people in the white churches, amongst people that have power and money that are white. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the drug usage and shit like that within the white community. And if you're white on my channel, listen, don't take offense. If you're not a Black person on my channel and you take offense, then there's a problem with you. Because what I'm saying is the absolute truth in regards to what the stereotype is about Black crime in regards to white crime. Because it's a couple different things that take place. Black crime within the Black community is for several different reasons. Lack of resources, lack of assistance, lack of infrastructure, and then also lack of the government trying to help to better those communities. And then you have men who get locked up for something that they may not have committed the crime on, and they get a higher or hefty prison sentence, even if it's a petty crime like having some type of grams of cocaine in comparison to their counterpart, their white counterpart. You'll have a black man get 10 years for the same crime that a white man does, who only gets 3 years, and then get off on probation. The black community has always been over policed and underfunded, to where black communities, there's a struggle, especially when you don't have the resources and the access to and from jobs. You don't have the resources like a busing system in your area to get you to a job that's 10, 12 miles away. Because the government has always tried to keep black people down within our society, and then they blast it on the media when there's a crime or something that takes place within the black community for the world to see. So people that come over to this country here, their family tell them, don't you go in those black communities. Don't you be hanging out with those black people, adding on to the additional racism that we face here in America from people from other countries. Because the media, the Western culture, wants to depict the black person, the black American, as a villain, as evil, as criminal. So when you have people come from other countries that don't know anything about the black community because they ain't never been there, they already had that stereotype depicted in their mind. They already had that stereotype thinking like, oh, we cannot go down 37th Avenue because that's a black area and there's a lot of crime there. Yet when they actually take the chance or take the sacrifice to go down 37th Avenue and they go to the black community and they're like, man, I am totally wrong about this area. These guys are cool as hell. They cooler than my family. You have many people who have come on all these platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, who are white or who are of a different color, a different race, that say, I'll go to the black community, they show me nothing but love. But in my own community, in my white community, they push me away. Because that racism is only a scare tactic. That racism that people come from other countries, they don't want to be like the black person. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm black and I'm proud, baby. I'm black and I'm proud because you know why? My ancestors, my black people, we have built this country. Now, the people that's come here now, they help to maintain. But black people, my ancestors, black slaves built this country. And the people that are here now, they're helping to continue to build this country. I don't want to hear anybody say that black men, black people, black Americans don't have any culture. That's a fucking lie. That's why you see all these people wearing the black athlete's jersey, or all these white, Latino, whatever country they come from, Canadian, listening to the black music or trying to do the black dances and stuff like that. You see that black Americans, we put salt on our flavor, on our food, excuse me. We put that seasoning salt, that Lowry seasoning salt on our chicken. And then when a white person or somebody of a different color tastes it, they're like, godly, man, this is good. What'd you put on there? Some Lowry seasoning salt. Get some adobo and throw some adobo on there. Black people, I think when it comes to my ancestors, the Africans, the black Americans, we had the most culture because we invent shit that people take and try to take over and claim that that's theirs. We do. We invent stuff, and then guess what? There's always a colonizer that comes and try to take it away and then say that they created it. Just think about OG Tenderism, Mr. Tenderism, who, you know, he was the man hooking those ribs up where they followed the bone. He's over here showing you, and boom. Then you had your dude, the owner of the company. He ain't worth shit. I don't hear anything about the dude that was working with Tenderism. And then he lets go of Mr. Tenderism, the man that actually was the face of the company and did the work. Because we always got somebody trying to take our shit from us. We always do. Anyways, let me talk about Mitch McConnell real quick, okay? That dude is gone, man. And like I said earlier, He's gone, and the Republican Party are so terrified that they are trying to hang on to Mitch McConnell, trying to show us proof of life. With that picture, when I first saw that proof of life picture, I said, that's a freaking fake picture. AI is jacking us up, y'all. Let me turn my car on to get some air in here. Sorry, it's getting hot. And I'm not gonna sing Nelly's song because fuck him. Straight up. Ricky Dolly, stop the hate about black on black crime. You are racist. I mean, if somebody's talking about black on black crime like that, you are definitely racist. Like Charlie Kirk's bitch ass. I heard, let me, I'm gonna talk about Mitch McConnell here in a second, but I heard Brandon Tatum was on like Piers Morgan's show. I could be on Piers Morgan's show. For one, I won't allow myself to waste time with the racists because Piers Morgan's a fucking racist. I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care he lives in the United Kingdom. You know, people over there in the United Kingdom, they have their racist tendencies as well. I would not get on Piers Morgan's show. If he was to send me an email today saying that I have a show that I would like to have you on, I'll be like the amazing Lucas. I wouldn't be asked to be invited on again. Straight up. I would not be asked to be invited on again because I know quite a bit, but I don't know a lot like some of these guys do. But Brandon Tatum is one of the dumbest, dumb-dumbs of the black community. And I don't claim him, guys. I do not claim Brandon Tatum. To hell with Brandon Tatum. He can kick rocks just like Myron Gaines, just like Stephen A. Smith. Fuck him too. He's a capitalist. It's all about money for him. It's not about trying to help the black community. It's not about trying to advocate for the black community like I do. I couldn't be on Piers Morgan's show because if I was on there with Brandon Tatum, I would have checked him real quick and I'd have told him, keep talking that shit like Charlie Kirk did. Let me go ahead and drop some knowledge onto you. And I'd have dropped the knowledge onto him and I'll say, you know what else? Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. And I know that your kids hate you and your family hates you. That's why nobody, you know, what I heard is that Brandon Tatum's family don't even mess with him. Like Brandon Tatum, you have to be a shitty ass person for your family members to not mess with you. And I'm sorry, if you got family members that don't mess with you, I mean, you got to check yourself. You got to look in the mirror and say, hey, why doesn't my family like me? Why is that? You have to check yourself. You're so sick. My best friend is black. Ricky Dolly, I don't know if you're on my side. I don't know if you're trying to just throw out some side shit so you can get kicked off the channel. But you have to be a shitty ass person for your own family to disown you. Mitch McConnell's daughter, don't fuck with him. Mitch McConnell's daughter, I think her name is Ellie or something like that. I guess she was always getting on him. Always getting on the Republican Party. You know, I hope so. And I don't believe him and Elaine Chao have children together. I think he has children with his first marriage. Is it me that if he don't have any kids with Elaine Chao, Mitch McConnell probably married a Chinese asset, like a Chinese informer, because what the word on the curb is that Elaine Chao, whenever Mitch McConnell, you know, did that little, I don't know if it was a life alert. I don't know what the hell it was, but they were putting him on the stretcher or whatever, putting him in the ambulance, and they were just taking their sweet ass time. Like, he's gone. Might as well kill time. Let's put him on the stretcher. I guess his face was covered up and stuff, but you know, this hearsay, because I didn't see it with my own eyes, though. You know what I'm saying? He was gone. Elaine Chao was in China. Now, was she talking to Xi Jinping? Is that what she was doing? Was she talking to Xi Jinping when she went to China to give all the dirt? Mitch McConnell, that shitty ass piece of person that he is, the racist that, you know, was part of the Republican Party, because the Republican Party are the racists. The Republican Party is the new KKK. Mitch McConnell ain't here. Back in June, it's been over a month, guys. It has been over a month. And the only proof of life that we got was an AI generated picture that with him sitting in a hospital bed, fully clothed, had that crooked ass smile, like I can't even do it with my beautiful lips. Look at my beautiful lips. He was like, that's how Mitch McConnell's smile was. It was like ugly as hell. There was nothing. There was like no, when you go to a hospital bed, if you're sitting in the bed, you have all the monitors that are hooked up or just around you, and you will see like there will be a emergency call button right behind you and everything. You didn't see any of that. It was like they faked that picture with the Republicans. They faked that picture with Elaine Chao sitting there with him. Like she had came back from China since his ass was gone. He dead. He dead. And even the Republicans like, I ain't buying it. They're like, no, that don't look like a actual picture of Mitch McConnell in 2026. So you have people talking about that was a picture from 2023. It didn't look like Mitch McConnell. If you haven't seen Turtle Mitch or seen any pictures of Turtle Mitch, he can't even crack a smile. Like the dude his face is like upside down. Like it's like this. That's Mitch McConnell now. You mean to tell me that this dude with the fake newspaper in his hand, like he was reading a newspaper, the motherfucker freezes on live television. Do you think that he's able to read some shit? Do you think that Mitch McConnell is reading something and he's just like breezing through it? Mitch McConnell fell, guys. When he was coming out of the Congress chamber or whatnot, there was an interviewer that I actually did a video on. I did a short on that. Mitch McConnell was being walked by two security people. And the lady asked him a question, and the dude fell right in front of her. It's on tape, guys. Fell right in front of her. The security guards picked him back up, and he turned around. He didn't say a word. He go, he just did that. He went, that's what Mitch McConnell did. So I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all that this man is still alive. I don't. If you believe that Mitch McConnell's dead, give me some thumbs up. This is a call and response now. Give me some thumbs up if you believe that Tricky Mitch, Turtle Mitch is dead. Because I think he's gone. I think he's gone. I think the Grim Reaper came and got him a long time ago. But let me read this really quick here because I got some information here. So Andy Bashear is the governor of Kentucky, the state that I went to college in. He's not University of Kentucky, by the way, University of Louisville. So Andy Bashear, who has been trying to find out if Mitch McConnell is still alive, Andy Bashear has been trying to reach out, and the Republicans are scared, guys. Like I said, they are terrified. And by the way, if you just came on here, subscribe to the channel. Any support to the channel, become a channel member. I appreciate you. Well, let me read this here. Give me some thumbs up too if you believe that Mitch McConnell is dead, just like Lindsey Graham is. Pudding Pop Graham is gone, boy. He's dancing with the devil. All right. So the Courier Journal, and this is a Louisville-based newspaper here. The Courier Journal. Yes, JSDK4DC, straight up. So the Courier Journal, Governor Andy Bashear said in a July 15 meeting, which was a few days ago, in a media interview, that he received calls from officials suggesting. Now, when you suggest something and you're receiving this from officials like, hey, I don't know, he's probably dead. That motherfucker's dead. If I don't see him alive, moving, or even freezing in front of the camera, if I don't see that, I don't see them even putting a camera, just taking a camera shot of him wherever he's at. I don't care if he's strapped up to something. You can go and see if he's alive or not. So it's suggesting that U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell has died prior to the release of the senator's July 12th health update. In an interview surrounding recent events that could affect the Democratic Party, journalist Katie Couric asked Bashear what had prompted him to release statements calling for Mitch McConnell to share more information about his now month-long hospitalization. So Mitch McConnell was hospitalized for a month, and there was no signs of life or anything from the Republican Party. And if you don't know much about Mitch McConnell has been in Congress for 40 years. He's been in Congress for 40 plus years. This is what Andy Bashear said. It had been a month before anything had been put out, not even an official statement from Senator Mitch McConnell, he said. In fact, I'd gotten 2 calls from different agencies, not state agencies, suggesting he had passed. Mitch McConnell is not here. I don't believe that picture. I know the smart people like you guys that are watching me right now didn't believe that picture of, the American people asking for proof of life from Mitch McConnell, because the Republican Party does not want to provide that. They want to have all the control that they can, as much as they can, before the midterms. Because if Mitch McConnell, if it was confirmed that Mitch McConnell had died and went on to hell, which he's already there, he's burning, he's been burning since last month. The Andy Bashear could put in a fill-in for Mitch McConnell's spot. And the Republican Party is afraid of that because that gives them lesser control than what they have now. And so that's a disservice to my Kentuckians. That's a disservice to my Louisville Cardinals, because the Republican Party is deciding to hide the truth about Mitch McConnell that's hurting the Kentuckians. Now, some information about Mitch McConnell and what he does for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So Mitch McConnell, for the Commonwealth of Kentucky, he has to be the one to approve or sign for passports and other things, identifications and things like that. They can't just he has to be the one to do, the confirmation on that. So the Kentuckians don't have representation in Congress when it comes to specific things that they need to get done, because the Mitch McConnell is not present. So you're basically saying that Kentucky shouldn't be paying any taxes right now because they don't have any representation in government, in federal government, not local government, but in federal government. They don't have any representation. So again, give me some thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up if you believe that Mitch McConnell is no longer breathing. He's went on a turtle hell. The devil's making turtle soup with Mitch McConnell. Give me some thumbs up. JS, the Lord does work in mysterious ways. I wasn't expecting Lindsey Graham to be confirmed gone before Mitch McConnell, which was crazy. When I got the news that Lindsey Graham had passed away, the family and I had just got back from our cruise. And, we still had family in the house. And Lord knows, when you have family in the house, you can't even think straight. Y'all having so much fun, right? Like my family, we love each other. We all had a great time together. The party still kept going whenever we got back from the Bahamas. We went to Bimini, Bahamas, and we also went to Key West. And when we got back, and then I looked on my phone, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you got to get up, go use the bathroom. And, of course, when you get up, go use the bathroom, I know it's a bad habit, but before I come back and lay back down and go to sleep, I'll grab my phone and check and see if I got any notifications. Because, moms might need something. Hopefully she don't call me at that type of hour, or a family member don't call me that type of hour. Because, if you get a phone call in that particular type of hour, that means that it's usually not good news. You know what I'm saying? But I look and I see Lindsey Graham had passed away. And I said, holy shit, I need to go back on a cruise. I need to go back on vacation. I need to go radio silent from the politics again, so I can come back and get some great news that somebody else is going on to glory. Well, not glory. We're going to say hell. Someone else is going on to where, the worst of the worst are down below. As above, so below. That's where I want to hear. I can't wait for the big, beautiful obituary. I cannot wait You know, when is it coming? Why does it seem like the most evil people live the longest, man? Like, post in the comment section, do you guys feel like the most evil people, they just continue ticking while, you know, good people die too early? Like the good die young, you know what I'm saying? The good die too young, like Michael Jackson. Uh, you know, unfortunately, Martin Luther King and Fred Hampton and Malcolm X uh losing their life way too early. Um, Prince, you know, the good die young, where the old, I mean, the evil, the most evil people, they continue ticking. It's like, man, this motherfucker's still alive. This dickhead is 110 years old. He's still ticking. Godly, man. Come on, man. He's got to go. He's got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, good people, good hearted people, people that advocate for the right reasons. It seemed like, I don't know, they just go way before the most evil and vile and corrupt people on this earth. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because they got the money, you know what I'm saying? They can get the best of healthcare and stuff like that. But I'm like, I don't wish death on anybody. You know, even though I'm celebrating, or I celebrated to a certain extent, that Lindsey Graham had died, you know, I don't say, hey, this person needs to die today. I don't say that. I don't say that this person, they need to be X'd off of this earth. I'm not gonna say that. But I'm like, man, you know, this might sound contradictory, but it's like, man, he's still alive. It's just a surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like, the most evil people, the dumbest people who done so much harm to individuals are still alive, man. We hear any day now, his health is bad. Any day now. And I'm like, let me know when it's that time. You know, time and time again, we hear about the worst of the worst people, like Donald Trump, having some type of health scare. And we're thinking, oh, it's going to be a couple of months. He's taking aspirin or Tylenol on a regular. This dude is truthing at, or lying. I'm gonna just say lie social. It shouldn't be called true social. At 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, it's like, this dude needs to go to sleep, but he's still here. JS, yes. I'm gonna read JS's comment here. It takes a jaded soul to live in this world, this evil. Yeah, yeah. Mitch McConnell's not here, guys. We'll get the news eventually, because I don't think they'll be able to hold on to it for way too long, because then that'll be in, you know, we're already at weekend at Bernie's already. You know, we're already at weekend at Bernie's moment right now, with the fake ass picture, and then Mitch McConnell's statement that was straight out of Chat GPT with a little twist and all this kind of stuff, with Scott Jennings lying ass saying that he had a 17-minute conversation with Mitch McConnell, because Scott Jennings unfortunately went and graduated from the college that I graduated from, University of Louisville, and all these other people saying that they had 15 and 20-minute conversations with Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell can't even get 10 minutes of a conversation. So how in the hell, I'll tell you what Scott Jennings did. This is what Scott Jennings and all those individuals that said that they had a conversation with Mitch McConnell. Somebody picks up the phone, and Scott Jennings and everybody else talked for 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, the Iran war is going great. We're winning so much. We have decimated their nuclear facilities. We have knocked out their naval. We have knocked out their army. And yes, we have done a great job with Iran. Oh yeah, I heard about Graham Plattner's racist ass, the piece of shit misogynist, the SAer. Yeah, I heard about Graham Plattner, and Graham Plattner, you know, this is a good win for the Republican Party, because he was talking all the good shit and all the good talk. Yeah, that's what Scott Jennings did. That was a conversation that Scott Jennings had with Mitch McConnell. There was no feedback. There was no dialogue. There was no communication. It was just Scott Jennings talking. But I don't believe him, because Scott Jennings is a fucking liar too. I've never seen, guys, listen. Sorry, I'm gonna have to roll my window up here because somebody decided to cut their grass. I don't know who would cut their grass. I don't know who the hell would cut their grass at 12 o'clock. Is it 12? At 12:40 in the afternoon in Florida. I don't know who would be doing that. Like, this is crazy stuff. I guess whoever's cutting it is trying to get a tan, because my ass is not gonna be cutting my grass right now when it's 91 degrees with the real feel feeling like 102, cutting their grass out in the sun. That's crazy work. Oh, so JS said that it's rumored that Trump received a life-extending drug from Pfizer. I think there was a drug that Trump had received not too long ago that people were talking about that hasn't been FDA approved yet. It's kind of like, I guess, Ozempic or something like that. I'm not for sure. If you know what Ozempic is a weight loss drug. So Donald Trump received whatever the fuck Donald Trump is receiving. They need to stop. Well, I mean, they're gonna do what they want to do. They grown, but whatever Donald Trump is receiving, I guess that's what's keeping him alive. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm just ready for that release of excitement and dancing and partying, because at worst, terrible, lying, corrupt person who continues to steal from the American people and the world is no longer here. I'll be happy and I'll be dancing. I'm pretty sure there'll be people around the world celebrating and dancing. There will be block parties. I'm telling you, when we get the news, there will be block parties and you will see people starting to come together. Even MAGA will try to get into the party, but they ain't get into my fucking party. They're not getting to my party. MAGA will be celebrating too, because a lot of them are starting to break from MAGA, and they're wanting to be accepted by people that voted for Kamala Harris. They're wanting to be accepted by the liberals, the independents that smartly voted for the person that was going to make our country better, and they're not welcome. I will not accept anybody, and you guys have heard me on other lives before say that I have to stay away from people that voted for Trump. Like I know a few people that voted for Trump. I don't associate with them. I don't have a conversation with them. I don't call them. I don't check and see how they're doing, because they not only affected their lives, because trust me, their lives are affected. They affected my black people's lives. They have affected the 14 soldiers that passed away's lives, their families' lives. Their votes for Donald Trump, with them voting for a 34-time convicted felon, when these felons out here in the streets can't even get a good, decent quality job if they have a felon on their record. They voted for Donald Trump knowing that he was found guilty by 13 of his peers for fraud. They voted for Donald Trump, who incited an insurrection on January 6th of 2021, and they still voted for the fucker. They still voted for him. So if any person that you see on TikTok, please do not listen to them bellyache and cry and say that they made a mistake with their vote. Swipe away. Swipe up. Don't give them the fucking time or day. And don't go in their comment section to say this is what you voted for. You FAFO'd. You are a racist. Don't give them the time of day, because they're trying to make money off of them saying that they voted for Trump and they're sorry. Do not even do it. I won't even give them the time. I won't even say you FAFO'd. I won't even do it, because they're making money from doing that shit. Because the one thing that they would do again is they would vote for Donald Trump again if they had the opportunity. Plain and simple. These farmers, these small business owners, these individuals that come on and say, I made a mistake. I voted for the Republican Party and I voted for Trump. I made a mistake. They would do it again. They would do it again. America is not hot. We are a nation in decline thanks to Donald Trump. Everything Donald Trump said that Kamala Harris would do, he is doing. He was projecting. He said that Kamala Harris will get us in a war with Iran. He started that. He said that the economy will go to shit if Kamala Harris got elected. He's doing that. He said that inflation will increase if Kamala Harris got elected. He's doing that. He said that Kamala Harris would bankrupt America and be punching bag to the other superpowers like China and Russia. He said that, and he's the punching bag. Donald Trump and this administration are nothing but corrupt liars, to where Donald Trump has already enriched himself in this term by almost $3 billion. As a president, you're supposed to divest from your businesses. But what Donald Trump is doing is he's making money from all his businesses and saying that his dumb sons, Beavis and Butthead, are the ones running it. That's a freaking lie. That is a freaking lie. Donald Trump is running those businesses while he has his sons getting government contracts. That's a conflict of interest. That is a conflict of interest for your children to be getting government contracts because they're affiliated with any kind of security program or whatnot. You're not supposed to allow for this company that your son is affiliated with to get money and get government contracts. This is the most corrupt president in history. And it is documented in history that Donald Trump is the most corrupt president, and MAGA and the people that voted for Trump, thinking that the economy was going to get better under him, fucking did this. They're not invited to the cookout. They're not invited to the block party. When we get the news that the wannabe Adolf Hitler, Adolf Schittler, Trump von Schitzenpants, if we get the news before his term is up that he's gone, that he's burning in hell, hot lava, and we get the news, MAGA is going to celebrate. You got those that are in the cult that's going to cry and say, he's the greatest president of my lifetime, even though the economy is shitty. I lost my job. He was the greatest ever. He's a true Christian. When this man couldn't even quote any Bible verses. Simple Bible verses, this man couldn't quote, and they think he's sent from God. That is not a Christian person. And the person that says that Donald Trump was sent from God, or they talk about they have Christian values, they're not true Christians either. I'm a Christian man. I have my flaws. But one thing that I can tell you as me as a Christian man is that I love thy neighbor. No matter what color they are, I respect thy neighbor. If they're good people, I'm going to embrace them. Where we have MAGA who claim to be Christian, but they're racist. They don't want Hispanic people over here working on the roofs, who want to try to get away from the pain and anguish that they had from their country. They don't want the Haitian being in Ohio working and boosting Ohio's GDP or boosting Ohio's economy and working in the factories, because those Ohioans, the ones that claim that this is their country, those Ohioans don't even want to go and work in the warehouse for 8 hours. They don't want to go and work in the warehouse and then hear the supervisor say, hey, we got to work 2 more hours. They don't want to fucking do that. They're not a Christian person. Because if I see that a person is working and they're working hard and they don't look like me, I'm going to give them respect. And if they are not coming over here to this country, or they're not in my neighborhood trying to do crime, breaking the houses, vehicles and stuff, I'm going to leave them the fuck alone. If they're good people. The people that are doing the crime the most are American citizens. Yet we have Hispanic people, we have black and brown people, Haitian people that came from other countries, to where the white supremacist says to get the fuck out, but they don't want to work these construction jobs. They don't want to work the jobs, but they claim that this is their land. We got construction going on down here, some ways down the neighborhood, that's been worked on since 2024. This apartment complex that they're building over there. It's going to be a nice size apartment complex. There are hardly any people working over there because the community that works these roofs and houses and building shit now, the communities, these are my Hispanic brothers and sisters, my Mexicans, my Cubanos, my Venezuelans, my El Salvadorians that are working these construction jobs because that construction company ain't gonna pay American citizens shit. And to be out there in the hot ass sun in some jeans, some work boots, a long sleeve, and a construction protective hat. I don't see any American citizens up here building or putting blacktop on these roads out here when it's hot as hell outside in Florida. You know, whenever heat hits a dark area, that area is going to be hot as shit because heat attracts dark color attracts heat, right? I don't see any of these this is my country racist ass pieces of shit out here doing the work. They're not fucking doing it. Listen, I'm pissed this Saturday. I didn't get a chance to do one last week, of course, and the week before last, because of course I took a break and went on vacation. I like to do these on Saturdays because that's when I have the opportunity to do so. It's my day off of work, thank God. And I continue doing it. So hey, subscribe to the channel, support your boy, become a channel member, support your boy. I am definitely, I ain't going anywhere. God, if God's will, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to continue doing these my videos. I'm going to continue doing my lives if it's the Lord's will. You know, I give all hands out to my wife. She gives me all kind of support, even though sometimes she don't like what I say. But I love my family and I love my wife so much because she allows me to do this because I care about people. And I told her that. You know, I don't just care about myself. I care about people. And that's the problem that we have with racist people. That's the problem that we have with foundational Black Americans who are people of color that are racist to other people from other countries that look like us, that come from Africa. So I'm going to continue doing this, but let me talk about something else here. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe. Jack One Uptone. I don't like Black Trump supporters around me either. I don't like if I had a guy, he's a neighbor, okay? He had asked me a question about the guy that I stopped talking to. And he's like, hey man, have you talked to such and such in a while? I said, nope. He's like, oh really? I said, yeah, I don't talk to him anymore. I said, because, you know, he and I told him the story. I said, he and I had a conversation and he said, you know, we started talking about politics and he really showed me who he was whenever he said that he voted for Trump and he wanted the Mexicans and Hispanics and everybody to get out of here, get out of this country. So that was definitely a strike on him, big time. And, you know, I told him, I said, you know, in another way that I found out that he was a bigot and a racist. He's not, you don't have to be just racist to Black people to be racist, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. But he started talking about the Bad Bunny concert because I was watching the Super Bowl with him at his father's house, in at his father's house with him and his wife. My wife couldn't come; she had to work on that Sunday, so I was there with them. And he was pissed off that Bad Bunny was doing his Super Bowl halftime show in Espanol, my Puerto Rican brother. And he was mad about that. I had to cut him off because I had to tell him that Puerto Rico is part of a U.S. territory, something that he should have known, right? So he was saying they need to be saying English and speaking. I had to cut him off because I figured I didn't want to be that one token Black person that this guy had as a friend, or the one token Black family that this guy had as a friend. So I cut him off. So my neighbor, who's a white guy, you know, he's pretty cool. We have conversations and everything. We talk about football. I said, I told him, I said I had to stop talking to him. I said I had to stop talking to him because I started realizing and seeing that he has a racist bias towards people of other color. And I said, you know, he voted for Trump. So I put two and two together. If you vote for Trump and you don't like that a Spanish person speaking in their native tongue or doing a performance in their native tongue, and you have a problem with that, you're a fucking racist. You might not be racist to black people, but you're a fucking racist. And if you're a racist to other people of other countries, there's no telling what you say behind closed doors when a black person's not around. You don't, you know. So I stopped talking to him, and I said, when he told me he voted for Trump, that's when I started to see it. So I don't want you to tell me you voted for Trump, because then I won't talk to you either. I told my neighbor that. I told my neighbor, so he knows where I stand when it comes to how I feel about Donald Trump and this administration. If you want to tell me you voted for Trump, you can get the hell out of here and kick rocks, because I don't have any association to deal with you. None whatsoever. I'm sorry, I've been ranting on this Tuesday. Excuse me. I've been ranting on this. I'm pissed Saturday. I do apologize, guys. If you guys got questions, you know, feel free to ask them. Feel free to ask them if you have questions. But I do want to read some more information, because this some information that the hits keep on coming when it comes to being an American here, and living under Donald Trump and Trump's administration, who are all pedophile protectors. Release the Epstein files. Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche does not need to be confirmed. Listen, Todd Blanche should not be confirmed. This piece of shit is a lawyer for Donald Trump. Just imagine what he's going to do if he's the head of the Department of Justice federally. Do not confirm him. If the Republicans confirm, because it's the Republicans, I'm going to tell you, the Republicans confirm Todd Blanche, he's going to continue to weaponize the Department of Justice. He's going to continue to weaponize the Department of Justice to go against Donald Trump's political opponents. I'm one of them. So, USA Today. This was a few days ago. Trump's presidential approval rating hits a new all-time low. If we are so hot in America, Donald Trump's approval rating should not be in the can like it is. Donald Trump's approval rating hits a new all-time low in 2026. And that's why this piece of shit is so afraid of the midterms and trying to push the SAVE Act to be passed from every sector. Lindsey Graham dies. That's why we need to save that. Him doing this fucking speech, and we thinking that he's going to try to say that John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock's election and them being voted in is null and void, which he can't do. This piece of shit always talk about the Save America Act needing to be passed in every situation. Bitch ass Jake Tapper don't even push back against him. Make sure my mic is still working. Bitch ass Jake Tapper don't push back on him. These mainstream media guys. And I thank you, YouTube. Listen, YouTube, thank you for allowing me to continue to be on here, because I know that you guys could be just like the rest of these platforms when you're silencing true independent voices that are talking about the real issues that are happening instead of putting us on this facade of lies. Independent media is where it's at, guys, because the mainstream media, they get paid. They're the mainstream media, and I'm talking about all of them. I don't care. They're pushing propaganda and they're hiding stuff from the American people about the truth. Donald Trump's approval rating. His approval rating is at 41% today, which I think this number is a little skewed, because for the last time I checked, it was in the 30s. Donald Trump's approval rating is in the 30s. His job performance versus 51%. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is right here. 51% disapproval rating. This fell from an initial high of 50.5% approval and 44.3% disapproval rating when he took office in January of 2025. Donald Trump, it is also lower than the first term average approval numbers of Joe Biden. Joseph Robinette Biden had a better approval rating and disapproval rating after all the shit that MAGA complained about with Joe Biden's economy and shrinkflation and gas being high. And Joe Biden, because Vladimir Putin's corrupt ass decided to start a war with Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine that calls for the gas prices to spike. And Donald Trump, when gas was going down, Donald Trump in February of 2026 decided to strike children in a building. And I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care who you are. If you defend anybody killing children while they're in school, if you defend because you live in a country where you're like, oh, well, it didn't happen to me. These were children in a school. I have babies. Imagine if that was you losing your baby. And people are defending that. We didn't, well, their building shouldn't have been close to the IRGC's military base. The hell is that? You're killing children? Pete Kegsbreath's bitch ass and all these right-wing conservatives said, talking about, oh, well, you know, they shouldn't have had their fucking school next to an IRGC military base. We have military bases here in Florida. There are schools on these military bases. They knew exactly what they were hitting. They wanted to do that. We have some evil people in our country, running our country to the dirt and causing for our allies to say, fuck you guys. We are through with you. Elbows up, Canada. Canada said, screw America. And I get it, because Donald Trump is doing so much damage to our allies with this war in Iran. You know, you have countries that are like, we're not doing business with America anymore. They have gone berserk. The American people who voted for Donald Trump, the convicted felon, the Epstein best friend, Jeffrey Epstein, the one who raped girls on an island with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm getting pissed, man. Listen, I'm getting pissed. You guys, let me just go on this freaking crash out right now, because I'm about to get ready to crash out. I'm about to listen. The reason why I'm about to crash out is because we have individuals who are now silent when they wanted to have everybody held accountable for the violations of women on an island that Jeffrey Epstein had. And they are silent now. They are mute. We are not talking about this enough. There were women that were children that were violated that have forever scars on their life. And we don't talk about that enough. This takes me back to when, in learning in Pan-African studies and African history, African American history, how women, my ancestors, the women were being violated by their oppressor, by their slave owner, in front of the man. Little girls being violated, my ancestors being violated back then. And people are staying mute about this. MAGA wanted the Epstein files to be released, and the Republican Party are hiding it because they are pedophile protectors. Don't have your children around anybody that voted for Trump and that are not pissed off that the Epstein files have not fully been released. And Todd Blanche said that he's not going to be releasing anymore as the interim Department of Justice. You have talking heads that are continuing to protect Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Howard Lutnick, all these rich ass billionaires and millionaires. They're still going up to the bat saying, you know, hey, we got to get over it now. We got to get over it. Yeah, these women were violated because these are fucking creeps. They're weirdos. And I'm crashing out because this takes me back to the history of when my ancestors came over from a ship and that white man saw that voluptuous woman and they violated that voluptuous black woman because they could. They had the control and the power then. And this don't piss y'all off, because I am pissed off about that. No woman should be violated. No child should be violated. But we have individuals that are protecting that. They are pedophile protectors. Anytime I get somebody to comment on my channel supporting Donald Trump currently, or no, not currently, but since supporting Donald Trump, since the Epstein files had first came out, I call them a pedo protector. These are the fucking scum of the earth. These are individuals like Jacob Lang. These are individuals like Ben Shapiro, Alex Jones, Herpes Lip Steve Bannon, Stephen Miller, Roly-Poly Tatum, who protects Donald Trump still. These are the Candace Owens. They're pedophile protectors. The Tim Pools. I'm gonna keep going. The Tim Dillons. The fucking racist ass piece of shit Megyn Kelly, who she don't know where she's coming or going sometimes. She flip-flops so much. Megyn Kelly will be pissed off one day, and then she's all on Trump's nuts the next day. These are your Marjorie Taylor Greens, your Tucker Carlsons. F every single one of them. Your Lowen Boeberts giving handies at a Beetlejuice concert. F every single one of these Republicans. F everyone. John Fetterman, he can get some too. F John Fetterman, that piece of shit. F John Fetterman. Pennsylvania, y'all, man, listen. Pennsylvania, John Fetterman's got to go. These Democrats that are established Democrats have to go. And I heard about the Democrats that voted to continue to aid. It's not real. I need to look at that bill a little bit more. But the Democrats that decided that they were going to continue to fund, it's not real. What the fuck is up with that? I understand that the Republican Party has control over everything right now, but every single Democrat needs to break from AIPAC. Every single one. I don't care. Every single one needs to break from AIPAC. Tammy Pierce, Clinton's owned the home next to Epstein in New Mexico. How come we haven't heard that? How come that hasn't been like on the news about the New Mexico home that Epstein had and that Clinton's in them had? So I mean, I can't validate it. I can't say, oh yeah, well, Clinton can get it too. If Clinton did anything to women, young girls, listen, I'm not protecting Democrats. Don't get it twisted. Anybody that was on Epstein's island, that's the difference between MAGA. That's the difference between a person that voted for Trump and a person that voted for Kamala Harris. We want justice for every single woman who was violated and every perpetrator to be thrown under the jail. Where the Republican Party, they just move on to the different subject. They don't care now. Oh, well, yeah, Donald Trump was on Epstein's island, but Virginia Giuffre said that Donald Trump never did do anything and seemed like a nice guy. Yet we have Katie Johnson, who is no longer here. We don't know her story. We heard the story. Yeah, I don't like a person spreading misinformation. That's how Elon get American people to fucking vote for Donald Trump. So bye, Tammy. Bye. I knew that wasn't true. I knew. Thanks. ASAT 13 Productions. I don't know. I might have jacked that up. You know, let me talk about my black sisters real quick. Let me talk about my women, my women of color, my black women, my black American women, and my women of color real quick. I got y'all back. I voted for a black woman. I voted for a black woman because it's time for a woman to get this country back on track. Black women, and you guys can look this up, black women are the most intelligent in the United States. If you look up which group is the most intelligent group in the United States, it's black women. Black women. Queen Lucy, Indian, not black. The hell are you talking about? Kamala Harris was a black, excuse me, not was, because that's past tense. Kamala Harris is a black woman. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care if you want to say Indian. You sound like a foundational black American saying that shit. Indian, not black. No, Kamala Harris is a black woman. She has a black father. So she's a black woman. You know, back in the slavery time frame, how they would classify if you were a mulatto or black, you know what I'm saying? You had to have just one drop of African blood in you. I'm sure Kamala Harris has more than just one drop of African blood in her. So Queen Lucky or Queen Lucy, I don't care what you say. Kamala Harris is a black woman. She is an Alpha Kappa Alpha. She went to a historically black college and university. She is a black woman. Song Sword, you can be both. I mean, hell, I got Indian in my blood. I can say I'm Indian. I can say I'm Indian. Goodbye, Queen Lucy. You're not going in time. Are you getting off the channel? I have German in my blood. I can say I'm German then. Do I look it? No. You know what I'm saying? I look like a black man. I can be from Nigeria. I can be from Haiti, looking like this. But you know what I look like to a racist? The N-word. So I don't want to hear anything people got to say. Kamala Harris is a black woman. And then also, let's put it like this too. That's the reason why some people did not want to vote for Kamala Harris, because she's a black woman. So I don't know why is it that this country thinks that a woman cannot run the country. Men have been running the country for ever since there was the decision to make presidents and everything. Men have been running the country, and look where we're at. We have the highest infant mortality rates spreading across the United States. We have the highest inflation that has shot up since Joe Biden and Kamala Harris left office. Kamala Harris left office, and let's just even take Joe Biden out right now, because a lot of people like the people of Muslim faith. I'm talking to you Palestinians. Kamala Harris, when Kamala Harris was in office, gas was like $2.30 something when she left, $2.50 something, you know, shit like that. Kamala Harris left office, the housing market wasn't crashing like it is now. When Kamala Harris left office, we did not attack another country like Iran. When Kamala Harris left office, inflation didn't shoot up to where it's at now, with the beef prices being super high, with diesel being super high and gas being super high. When Kamala Harris left office, 1.2 million people, almost half of them being black people, and two-thirds of them being black women, or two-thirds of them being black women, or no, excuse me, half of them being black women would still have a fucking job. We wouldn't have 14 dead U.S. soldiers from a war that we shouldn't have started on behalf of Bibi Netanyahu. When Kamala Harris left office, when Kamala Harris, and I'm going to put Joe Biden in here, there wasn't immigrants losing their life by the hands of police officers. By the hands of ICE agents. When Kamala Harris was in office, we didn't have to worry about a Keith Porter Jr. being dead. We didn't have to worry about a Alex Pretty being dead, or a Renee Good being dead. We didn't have to worry about that when Kamala Harris was in office. We didn't have to worry about 2 Hispanic brothers being gunned down by ICE in 2 weeks since I got back from the cruise. Hell, by ICE, who have family here. One being from Houston that's been living in the United States for 20 plus years. For 20 plus years, we didn't have that happen under Kamala Harris or a Barack Obama. Hell, even George Bush. We didn't have that happen here when you got another person that lost their life in Maine by the hands of ICE agents, because Kamala Harris and Barack Obama did not weaponize the government and put ICE Gestapo out here in U.S. streets. They were focusing on the border. Donald Trump, there needs to be retribution and Nuremberg trials when it's all said and done. And that's why it's important for us to get out and vote. We need to vote. If you are registered to vote, we need to vote these pieces of shit out of office. And they're scared. They are scared. Sorry, I'm sweating because I turned my vehicle off. Gas is high. And so, yeah, I'm in the shade. I got my windows down. I don't want to be too loud because, it's hot. I might have to turn the car on again. So if you see me wiping, brother don't like to be sweating all the time. You know what I'm saying? Only when I work out, I like to get my sweat on. But when I'm just sitting in the car, flapping my gums, I don't want to be sweating like crazy. I'm human. I'm just human. My sisters, my beautiful Black women, y'all have held it down as best as you can. It is time for us Black men to start taking up for our Black women. And we need to say, you know what? Y'all need to take the wheel now. Y'all need to be president. I would love I voted for Hillary Clinton because I knew that a woman can run this country just as good as a man and probably better. Now it's time to get a Black woman up in there. We need a Black woman to get this country back on track. And if you don't like what I say, if you are watching me right now and you don't like what the hell I say, goodbye. I am man enough to say that there is a Black woman that can run this country and get this country back on track. Or we can say a woman of color, because I would vote for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I would vote for her. I don't want an established Democrat up in there. I want somebody that's a progressive. I want somebody that's going to get this country back on track. We need social programs here. We need child care assistance here, to where mothers and fathers who have to go in to and from work, they don't have to pay $300 a week for child care services. We need home health care for those that are sick, those that are older, and they need somebody to be there with them to take care of them. And the family member can't do that because they live in another state. Kamala Harris was for that. People didn't listen to it. People didn't realize that Kamala Harris was actually going to try to work for the American people. Now we got a fucking Donald Trump who doesn't work for the American people. He's in the bag for Israel. Miriam Adelson gave him $200+ million for his campaign. And you think that Donald Trump is going to be working for the American people? Make sure my mic is still on. Donald Trump said affordability is a hoax. Where you have Elon freaking Musk, that piece of shit, who terminated my sisters that's worked for the government. 400,000 women lost their job working in government sectors and beyond that, because we don't get the reports from private sector companies. The Black unemployment for women shot up from like 4% all the way up to like 8% for Black women, thanks to Donald Trump in one fucking year. Kamala Harris wouldn't have done that. And I don't give a damn what anybody say. We didn't give her an opportunity. All those Muslims, all the Palestinian people that were talking free Palestine and that they were going to vote for Donald Trump and JD fucking Vance and gave all that heat to Kamala Harris, knowing that she wasn't fucking president. Where's that smoke for JD Vance? The Gaza Strip is decimated. I posted a video about the Gaza Strip and what it looks like in 2026, and it does not look good. But you know what? The algorithm isn't going to boost that, because nobody wants to hear about what's happening to the Palestinians in Gaza. They're suppressing that. The Black woman would have done better than what Donald Trump and JD Vance is doing. But again, racism, People are fucking around and finding out now. My wife and I are a team. If she needs to handle business, I let her handle business, because as a man, as a confident man in myself, I trust my wife, the black woman. My wife is a beautiful black woman. I love my Nubian queens. I want y'all to be taken care of. But white supremacy is stopping that. And they don't care if they fuck up their own lives for it. Women can run this shit. You know, just ask Beyonce. I'm not a big Beyonce fan, but women can run this shit. They can. I'm confident that a woman can do a damn better of a job than a man. We've allowed for men to jack up America as much as possible and start wars because they want to conquer and take over something. They want oil. They want gold and diamonds. They want control. That's all it's been in this country. Is trying to go and westernize somebody else's country. That, yeah, black women. I know that the infant mortality rate within black women are 2 times higher than the next race. White women's infant mortality rate is like at 3%. Black women are like 10% in certain areas, especially in red states. Twice as high. Black women, doctors were saying that black women have a higher tolerance of pain. Fuck that. No, they have the same tolerance of pain as a white or Asian woman or a Hispanic woman or an Indian woman. No. Black women are treated differently when they're in school. They're not treated like a 12-year-old. They're treated like they're 18 or 20 in school because they're a black woman. They've had to work 2 and 3 times as harder as their counterpart. That's why they become the most intelligent species in the United States. The black woman is the most intelligent woman in the United States. That's surpassing white men. That's surpassing white women. That's surpassing black men. That's surpassing Hispanic men and women. That's surpassing Asian men and women. It's the black woman. And you know what the black woman's always tried to do? Just like some of my my advocates, the black woman has always tried to stand up for everyone, even when they didn't even have rights. Look at the women's suffrage. What was black women doing in the women's suffrage? Like Sojourner Truth. You know, she was standing up for women's rights. Harriet Tubman, she was standing up to free black people, men and women, with a shotgun. She had the help of a white man, though. She did have the help of a white man, and I respect that. I appreciate the good people that care for freedom for black people or the oppressed people. I appreciate that. If you, back in Harriet Tubman's time frame, Brandon Tatum would not be here. Harriet Tubman would have popped him. Candace Owens would not be here. Harriet Tubman would have. Yeet. Clarence Thomas wouldn't be here. Harriet Tubman would have popped him. They're raccoons. They are the Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, all these people of color that threw their hat in for Donald Trump are the people that Harriet Tubman and Malcolm X said they do not belong here. They do not belong in our spaces. They do not. They don't belong in our spaces because they don't look out for us as well. Black women, if you listen, if you don't have somebody staking up and taking up for you, cut them off. Cut them off. Women in general, if you don't have a man or whatever your sexual preference is, if you don't have that person that will stick their neck out for you and take up for you anytime, any place, anywhere, get rid of them. Do not be associated with them. We have to protect our black women in America. We have to protect our black women in the world. We definitely have to protect our black communities in a racist country. We are right now in the most troubling and racist time in America because we have a president that is trying to, with his evil minions, trying to destroy and break up every single community that is non-white, especially the black community. We have to take up and we have to protect our communities and our people. We have to, and we damn sure got to protect our women. So if you have people who are foundational black Americans that are tap dancing for white supremacy, you check them. You check anybody that said that, oh, Kamala Harris was going to be terrible, and they don't say her name right. They say Kamala. That's a racist. If they can't say her name right, because, you know, phonetics, you can phonetically, you can look up in the dictionary and see how it's spelled and say how to pronounce it. Kamala Harris. If you hear somebody say Kamala or Kamala or whatever the fuck they say, check them. It's Kamala, not Kamala, like Candace Owens was saying back in the day. That was a racist trope. You know what I'm saying? Protect our women, because the rich, they want the money, and they're getting it right now under Donald Trump. The oligarchs are getting paid while we continue to become bankrupt. And that's another thing I want to talk about here. Got my notes. All right, so from Adam Data. All right, check this out. The top 10 states for the highest foreclosures on homes is up like 21%. The highest it's ever been under Donald Trump. Excuse me. The top 10 states. Think about this here, because this is all about the economy right here too. Your biggest asset is owning a home. If you're a homeowner, you have equity in your home. That is going to be your biggest asset. Gen Z, people that aren't homeowners right now, I don't know when there'll be a time that you'll be able to own a home, because inflation has kicked up and home prices are expensive. Mortgages are super high. Mortgages, people can't even afford to pay their mortgage for their home, and they're having to foreclose. The top 10 states, 7 of them are red states. 7 of the top 10 states for the highest foreclosures in 2026. This is off of Adam Data, ATTOMDATA.com. The 10 states, 7 of them are Republican states, Republican governed states. I'm going to go ahead and fire off on them. Florida's number 1. Florida has the highest housing foreclosures since Donald Trump got in office. The highest housing foreclosures since Donald Trump got in the office. Florida has the highest. We are ran by Governor bitch ass Ron DeSantis. And Byron Donalds is trying to take Ron DeSantis' spot. Listen, if you live in Florida, David Jolly is going to be, any Democrat's going to be better. But right now, David Jolly is actually the front runner in regards to the Democratic Party. And I don't get paid to do this. So David Jolly, if you see this video, just shoot your brother a couple of dollars. Maybe even become a member. Give me some super chats. So Byron, the tap dancing raccoon, who Harriet Tubman would have popped back in the slavery time frame in the 1800s, would have popped him. Byron Donalds thinks that he has a fair shot. Daisy, I'm going to read your comment in 1 second. Let me get rid of this piece of shit. There you go. Goodbye, Anthony. I don't got time for it. But yeah, Daisy, I'm going to read your comment in 1 second. Byron Donalds is running for governor in the state of Florida. Now, you know what people say? People assume that black people are going to vote for the black candidate. No, we don't do that. We don't just, you throw a black face in it, you're not going to get me to vote for them just because they're black. That's not what black people do. Black people don't vote for just a candidate because they're black. We do take a look at their profile now, okay? Of course, you're going to have some people who are black or of color that will vote for them because they're black without doing their research. That is a mistake. Always do your research first. Do your research before you vote. Please do not vote for a candidate because you see that they're black and that they're going to be for you. Not every black person is for the black community. Not every black person is for people of color. Not every black person is for their state. That black person may be a capitalist like Stephen A. Bitch ass Smith is, and it's all about money for them. It's what's in it for them and not for the people in total. Okay, so David Jolly, look into him. He is trying to he's trying to put money into public schooling, which we definitely need, because Ron DeSantis and Byron Donalds will do the same thing. They're trying to privatize schooling. They're trying to force parents to put their kids in homeschooling, and they're taking school funding away from the public schools. We need to make sure that public schools get funded everywhere. There have been several public schools to close in my state, in my city, because they do not have the resources and funding. So please, we need education is more important than what people are talking about when it comes to the educational sector. We should be funding our children's education. That's why other countries are far more advanced than we are. Other countries, they speak 2 different languages and sometimes even 3 different languages. Even the poorest countries like Africa. African countries, they speak 2 different languages. Why America does not have 2 different languages to speak? Public education is important. David Jolly is not going to be like Ron DeSantis or a Byron Donalds who supported alligator Alcatraz. So I'm not campaigning for David Jolly. I'm just saying he's going to crack down on these ICE agents in these streets, snatching up people in Miami-Dade County, in Broward County, in Leon County, in Hillsborough County. David Jolly is going to push against Donald Trump and what Donald Trump has been doing to people of color, black and brown people in the state of Florida. So my Cubanos, if you're listening to me right now, if you're watching my video right now, take heed to any of your family members that are citizens in the state of Florida. My Venezuelans, my Puerto Ricans. Well, you know, y'all, can y'all vote? I don't know about. I gotta look up that. My El Salvadorians. You know, any Latin American, any Spanish person, Colombians. If you're here in the state of Florida and you are registered to vote, make sure midterm time frame. We vote out every single Republican, and we do not vote in Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds said publicly to a reporter that he gave Donald Trump an A+. I think it was an A+. He gave Donald Trump an A on the economy, on inflation, on the war with Iran. Who the hell gives a president an A when inflation skyrockets after you start a war and your constituents in the state are suffering the highest foreclosures in Florida? Ron DeSantis did not do anything to help Floridians besides, let me tell you what he did. This is what Ron DeSantis did. He laxed the gun laws here in the state of Florida. That's what Ron DeSantis did. That's the same party that Byron Donalds is part of. Byron Donalds is part of that same party that laxed the gun laws here in the state of Florida. Byron Donalds is also part of the same party that made an abortion ban at what was it, 8 weeks? Ron DeSantis did an abortion ban for women in the state of Florida, and it was at like 8 weeks. And we have women in Florida that are having to travel out of state to get an abortion. That's called control. That's what Byron Donalds will do. Byron Donalds is not going to lower the property taxes. That's his trope. That's what they say to try to get people to vote for him. Byron Donalds is not going to have control over these companies, these big companies that buy homes and then rent them out to the Floridians here. That's why we have the highest foreclosures in the state of Florida, guys, because Byron Donalds and Ron DeSantis are the same. They will continue to hurt us in Florida. To my Hispanic community here, to my Latino community here. You get these individuals like Randy Fine, and to my Jewish community here as well. Y'all need to pay attention to my Palestinians. If you are a Muslim here in the state of Florida, you have individuals like Randy Fine, who is anti-Semitic. Excuse me. No, let me rephrase that. Randy Fine, who supports what Israel is doing to the Palestinian people. To my Latino community here in the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis literally tried to stop any kind of truck drivers from coming to Florida to distribute produce and so forth to the state of Florida if they were Hispanic. They had to pass an English driving test. Now, I know, listen, I know, guys, I know that, yes, we want to have safe drivers here in the state of Florida. We want to have safe drivers everywhere, no matter where you're at. We definitely want that. But when you have governors and you have the president that is saying that you need to speak English, you need to read English, but you know how to speak it and you know how to read it, but you can't come here and speak your native tongue. You can't come and speak Spanish without getting profiled. You're going to get profiled. The Hispanic community is getting racially profiled, just like black people have always been getting. Pay attention to that. That's the Republican Party. The Republican Party is doing that. The Republican Party has emboldened racism here in the state of Florida, just like every red state. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas. You got Tate Reeves of Mississippi. You got Jeff Landry of Louisiana. You got Brian Kemp in Georgia. They are part of this Klan. They don't want black and brown people, Hispanic people, Muslim people in this country, and they are all kowtowed to racist supremacy. To racist supremacy, Christian nationalists, piece of shit, garbage people. Let me give you some more. The next red state with the highest foreclosures is South Carolina. That is where Puddin' Pop Lindsey Graham is from. Nancy Mace, hey, listen, y'all. Please don't get cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, Nancy Mace, to take over Lindsey Graham's spot. Oh, it's nepotism. Lindsey Graham's sister is filling in at the position of South Carolina. Can we say nepotism? Oh, I tell you what, boy. These people, and when I say these people, like Trump and all those individuals, Howard Nutlick's sons, Jared Kushner, all these Nepo babies are underqualified. They are not, they are the true DEI, honestly. It is nepotism. Lindsey Graham's sister, I've never heard of her before. Hell, I didn't even know Lindsey Graham had a sister. Real talk. I got to make sure my mic is still on. Lindsey Graham has a sister, and now she's taking over his spot. Oh, that's what Donald Trump wanted, because Donald Trump does not want a Democrat to get any positions right now, because he knows he is going to be done come November. Midterms, come November. South Carolina, red state. Highest foreclosures. The list goes on. Let me go back to Daisy here. Hi, Daisy. Daisy said, can't stand Candace Owens. Now she wants to come back to the black race. Damn her. I stand with you, brother. I am a black woman. I'm proud of it. Hey, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. What? Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. I'll always be black. I'll always be proud too. Nobody's going to take that away from me. And I will never drive a bus over my black people. Never. Never that. I love everybody, okay? You hear me? But I'm going to tell you this. I stay true to what I am as a black man. I will not bend the knee to white supremacy like Candace Owens would. Knowing the shit that she should have known, I thought that Candace Owens was a smart girl. How can any black person, like a Rob Smith, who is black and gay, how can any black person be part of a political party that do not want them here? I will never do that. That's selling your soul. That is selling your soul, like these individuals. Like I said, Rob Smith, former military, right? Black guy who is gay. And he's part of the Republican Conservative Party. What sense does that make? What do the conservatives talk about? They talk about trans people. They talk about man being in women's sports. They talk about man going into women's bathrooms, which is not true. About the LGBTQ community, they always attack Pride Month. They always do this stuff. They wanted to take away, Donald Trump wanted to take away Juneteenth and Martin Luther King Day. You know, he's taking down historical information off of George Washington's building and shit like that. And they still are part of the Republican Party. Like, it don't make any sense to me that you're saying that you're conservative and you value Christian values and all this kind of stuff, when that is nothing of the case of the Republican Party. They are not, I can honestly say that they are not Christian. Goodbye, elite, piece of shit. Hey, everybody, before I kick Elite off, say quiet, piggy. Say, everybody who sees Elite here, Elite Gaming, thank you for subscribing. You can unsubscribe now. Tell him quiet, piggy. He's a piece of Elite Gaming. Why would you have a name like that? Change it up. Make it something cool. You can tell that this person's a beta. Milk toast beta piece of shit. Quiet, piggy. Goodbye. I get rid of idiots. Top 10 states for the highest housing foreclosure in 2026. Florida, South Carolina, Indiana, Nevada that went to Donald Trump. Illinois, blue state, okay. Delaware, blue state, okay. Ohio, red state. Hey, Vivek Ramaswamy don't get it. He's not, it's not registering with him. He still tries to down the black community and stuff like that. Vivek Ramaswamy, please, somebody clip this and tag Vivek Ramaswamy in this video. You fucking piece of shit. Shut the fuck up about black people. The Ohio voters do not want your ass. You are brown just like me. Don't talk bad about the black community. Because guess what? The ones that you are trying to do this for, the white supremacists, they don't want your ass here either. Matter of fact, they don't want you here more than they don't want me here, Vivek Ramaswamy. So fucking shut your mouth about the black community. Don't talk about anything within the black community because you haven't lived the experience. Shut the hell up. So I wanted to say there. All right. So Texas, red state. California, blue state. But they're at number 9. I'm not, nobody should, everybody should have a house, basically. North Carolina, red state. So out of the top 10 states of housing foreclosures, 3 of them were Democratic ran governor states, Democrat governed states, 7 of them Republican governed states. What does that tell you about the Republican Party? I got to get some air in here again. What does that tell you about the Republican Party? When you have 7, like you would think that if the Republican Party and the Democratic Party were the same, that it will be even as far as the top 10 of states having the highest foreclosures. Blue states fund red states, but we don't fund their housing like that. The top 10 states of housing foreclosures, you would think that California would be the number 1 because California is expensive to live in California, right? But they're not. California is number 9 as far as the most states with the highest foreclosures. It's Florida. Florida is the highest, has the highest foreclosures. That's crazy, right? How is that so? Because Florida, the governor don't give a damn about the Floridians here. He don't care about his constituents. He only cares about the constituents that are not black. That's what he care about. He care about the rich constituents. Sorry, hit my mic. Ron DeSantis cares about the constituents that have the money and the corporations. That's what he cares about. That's why you see that we have the highest foreclosures here in the state of Florida, thanks to Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis has been governor since my wife and I have lived here. It was Rick Scott. Rick Scott had defrauded. He had committed fraud, excuse me. He had committed Medicare fraud. Rick Scott committed Medicare fraud when he was head of I forgot, was it HCA or something like that here, and had to pay back. He was fined for that Medicare fraud here in the state of Florida. Republican. Now we have Ron DeSantis, Republican, that's ran this state into the dirt. We don't have any infrastructure funding. We were building roads under Joe Biden. Donald Trump has cut all that shit away. I got potholes. We was in Tampa last month, and there were potholes. I'm telling you, driving up and down the road, I thought I was doing some off-road driving. We're not getting the construction funding that we need here. Sorry, my thing had to reconnect or something. The Republican Party don't care about their constituents. We had 2 bills to be passed here in the state of Florida. Legalizing marijuana was one, and then also extending the abortion ban to, I think, 12 or 13 weeks here in the state of Florida. Those 2 did not get passed because guess what? The Republicans in Florida's chamber, the Republicans tried to put blocks and ran ads to get people to turn away from that shit. And you need a supermajority that was on behalf of the Republicans in Congress here in the state of Florida. You have to have a supermajority to get things passed here in the state of Florida. And we have so many fucking idiots here in Florida. I'm sorry to say it. I love my state. I love the Sunshine State. I can say that because I'm grown and I can do what the fuck I want to do. I can't stand some of the people here. We are not intelligent here in the state of Florida. We are not. There. Let me correct myself again. Sorry, any of my Floridian brothers and sisters. Sorry, I apologize about that. We have a lot of dumb idiots here in the state of Florida. And that's why education is going down the drain. We have stupid people here in the state of Florida to allow our governor and the people in the Republican Party to try to gerrymander, to try to say, hey, you got to get a supermajority for things to pass here. In a basketball game, if you win 51-49, that's a win. That means that you won that game. It doesn't make any freaking sense that you had to get 60% of the votes to get something passed in the state of Florida. But there's a reason why the Republicans do that. There's a reason why Ron DeSantis did that shit and ran campaign ads about abortion and all that kind of stuff, and ran campaign ads to get people to say, I'm not voting yes on that. Or they'll switch up the language to where you will say yes, but you meant to say no. Like they'll change up some type of language within a bill. If you guys, that's where you got to really pay attention. You have to really pay attention when you're looking at these particular bills, because it's a mind game. And if you're not really paying attention to the bill, they'll paint it out to be so wonderful, like, oh, House Statute such 1735 2A grants the state of Florida permission to allow for a legal substance to be distributed freely. And you think, like, what's the illegal substance? Do you approve or disapprove of this bill? And you'll say disapprove because they put the word illegal in there. But you don't even know what that is because you got to read between the lines. I don't know why they just don't make it black and white where it says we want to legalize marijuana because marijuana is a plant that comes from the earth and it is safe. And if you go to a shop or a store to get the marijuana, you're good. Do you want to legalize this? Yes. We want there to be an extension on the abortion, that women are able to get an abortion up until the week of 16 or 13 or 14 weeks during their pregnancy, in case there is a health complication and they need to get it because their doctor says so. Do you think this is a good idea? Yes. Give them 14 weeks. Give them 16 weeks. Give them 18 weeks. Because the baby in their body is killing them, or is not going to be a viable pregnancy, and they make the decision with their freaking doctor. That's what the governor of Florida did. A supermajority, 60% of a vote. The hell is that? That is stupid. You know why they do that? You know why these governors and the politicians do that shit? Is because they want to control your life any way that they can. But they don't give a fuck about your life. I'm sorry, I'm cursing. I know it. I'm just getting emotional again because this stuff ticks me off to no end, that we have idiots in Florida. We have dumb people in Florida, and that's why our gas is super high here in Florida. We have dumb people in Florida. That's why some of these dumb idiots are getting their families deported. Because I will vote for the Donald Trump. And now what is Donald Trump doing to my Hispanic brothers and sisters here in the community besides killing them or have them getting gunned down by some thug goons that are part of ICE that have mental health issues, and they're killing Cubans and Venezuelans and Puerto Ricans, even though they're part of the U.S., they're U.S. citizens. They're killing individuals because they speak a different language. They speak Spanish. Wake up. This here, black people are not the ones pulling the trigger here. Black people aren't the ones hunting down Hispanics or Muslims or Haitians or people that came from another country and sending them back to the country they ain't been in decades. This not us. Kamala Harris would have never done that. Kamala Harris would have never said that we're going to get ICE because there's 20 million illegals in America that came across the border under Joe Biden. Kamala Harris wouldn't have done that shit because that's not true. Immigrants that have documentation to be here in the United States are being profiled and gunned down like the young man in Maine. I forgot the name of the guy in Houston. Has children that graduated from college, have graduated from school here, that lost their father because of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And all you fucking voters out there that voted for Donald Trump, you got people that are losing their mothers and fathers and their children because of their fucking racism, because of the racism of this administration. The racism of Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens. I hope whoever's watching this, please, like I said, you have my permission to clip this, but I hope you send this to your family members or your friends or people you know that voted for Donald Trump. I hope that you send this to your family so they can see that it's not black people that is the enemy. It is not black people. We are always the enemy of people, and I don't understand it. And that's why I'm getting emotional now. Black people have never tried to do anything to hurt any particular race here. No matter if you're Asian or you're Indian and you get on your knees and you pray on a rug to Allah, we don't do that. Black people don't sit there and hunt people down like that because you want to pray the way that you were praying, where you turn to the sun and you pray to Allah. We don't do that shit. That's not a black person thing. We don't sit there and target you because of that shit. And we got people losing their life because they tried to turn around and get away from ICE, who is trying to hunt them down in freaking mask. We don't do that. You don't see black people out here hunting down people like that in unmarked vehicles. And some of the black people that are part of ICE, I don't know what the hell is going on with people who are part of ICE, who are of color, who are Hispanic, who are black. We already know that when it's all said and done, if they was to wipe out all the immigrants, they will be next. That's part of ICE. Shoot, I'm over here spitting and everything. I don't know. What if that was my child that was sick on a ventilator here in the United States, and they had to be deported to Cuba, who doesn't have any freaking power, or a struggle because Donald Trump started a war with Iran and they don't have oil for their infrastructure to be running? What if that was my child that was detained like Liam Ramos in Minnesota? I can't have that. I can't have that. Everybody should be pissed off with this freaking Republican Party, this racist Republican Party. Democrats may have created the KKK, but the KKK now are the ones that have the R by their name and fly the Confederate flags and want to put Confederate racist generals back up who is stripping away black history. That's who the KKK is now. David Duke voted for Donald Trump, and he's the grand wizard of the KKK. So I'm sure all those that's part of the Ku Klux Klan voted for Donald Trump too. The Republican Party is racist. And you see that time and time and time and time and time again with them attacking voter rights, affirmative action, for them saying, oh yeah, if Hector Ramos, if Luis Gonzalez, if they have a Hispanic name, you can racially profile them just like you would a Hakeem Vaughn or a Darius Thomas. You can go ahead and profile them because you see them driving in a nice vehicle and they don't look white. That's the part of the Republican Party. Mahmoud Khalil, or whatever the Khalil dude's name was, that was advocating for free Palestine, they tried to lock him up and deport his ass out of America. That's part of the Republican Party. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was the party that tried to get him deported and sent him to freaking CCOT in El Salvador? That's not Kamala Harris's party. Kamala Harris's party did not go after innocent people who came from another country here. And the Hispanic community still want to continue to be racist. The fuck is that? To black Americans. Like I said, I'm sorry, man. I'm just going off on a tangent now because I just get emotional about this, because it's so heartening. It hurts me to see how black people are still the targets to all this hatred from people of color who the white supremacists don't want here. Myron Gaines, that piece of shit punk. That piece of shit punk who, what was his name? Rollerblade Rocky or whatever, took his girl. Good for Rollerblade Rocky. Myron Gaines, that motherfucker from Sudan. Was on a panel on X with some white supremacists that told him they don't want him here. Yes, come and build the shit, then fucking leave. And he's still on their nuts because he's a bitch. Excuse my language again. I'm sorry. I'm getting emotional. White supremacists don't want black people here. Yeah, we was the one that built this shit. They will complain if they don't have running water. They will complain if their roof has a leak. But who's the one that's fixing that roof? Is a person that name doesn't sound white. It's a Ramirez, or a man named Wayne. Daisy, they don't wear sheets anymore. They're in plain sight. And they're doing it freely too. They are doing it without no kind of care. Thumb forehead Stephen Miller, that piece of shit punk. All these dudes are weird and they're betas. They're doing it in plain sight. They just try to word it like it's professional. They try to word it like we don't know. We can't read between the lines what they're trying to say. That's why you have Donald Trump afraid. You have the Republican Party afraid. Mike Johnson said in front of people that if the Democrats take the House and the Senate, they're going to come after all you guys because of why? Why would the Democrats go after every single person? Is there crimes that have taken place? Is there some things that have been illegal that have been done, have taken place within the Republican Party for Mike Johnson to say some shit like that? Who says that? Like, if I was sitting there being an innocent man that I am, and he said they're gonna come after all you guys, I'm like, shit. I'll be looking around like, who the hell is he talking to? He ain't talking to me. They're not gonna come after me. So the question of it is, yeah, it's fear mongering for real. It's fear mongering. But the question of it is like, who the hell? How come they didn't turn that camera to the people sitting there that Mike Johnson was talking to? Maybe it was a Peter Thiel sitting there, or an Elon Musk sitting there. Maybe it was a Mark Zuckerberg or Kevin O'Leary sitting there, or Howard Lutnick sitting there, Brooke Rollins. Well, is that who that was sitting there when he said that shit? The Republican Party is scared. You know why they're scared? The Republican Party is scared because when Democrats take the House, which I hope they take the House and the Senate, I hope they take both. And we say, you know what? Ro Connor's going to say, look, we open up all kind of investigations. Bernie Sanders, Jamie Raskins, all of them, AOC, open up investigations. We're going to go through, we're going to look at all the Epstein files and we're going to release them. Then we're coming after y'all pedophile protectors. We're coming after y'all pedophile, the PDFs. We're coming after y'all. Then we're going to look at all the books, all the corruption that's taking place under the Trump administration, all the Trump administration. We're coming after y'all with the corruption. Kurt Beeman, quiet piggy. Quiet piggy. You get the hell off my channel, keyboard warrior. Why are you here? Thank you for subscribing, but you can go ahead and unsubscribe now. Only thing they open up is the border to party fraud. Oh, see, that's what these dumbass white supremacists say. Hey, Kurt Bean, you're a loser. Milk toast. You're a milk toast. Get out of here, beta. You were probably like one of those ones that said they killed Charlie Kirk. Them Democrats, oh, they killed him. When it was your own people. Your own people, Kurt. Goodbye. Unsubscribe, piece of shit. Bye. Anyways, guys, I'm done ranting for this Saturday. Me and my son's gonna hang out, so I'm gonna go spend some time with him, the 9-year-old. So pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. I'm gonna get off here. Please give me some thumbs ups. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. We definitely got to keep talking about this stuff. We definitely got to keep protecting good people. My brothers and sisters, my black brothers and sisters, please, 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 please educate your children about black history. Time and time again, I'm talking to people that don't know about Nat Turner. They don't know about Marcus Garvey. Please educate your children, guys. Listen, watch some videos. They are trying to take away black history quicker than we can blink. So please educate everyone, especially your children, about our ancestors and what happened in slavery. It is not, people should not be feeling guilty. Like Roland Martin says, white fear. White people don't have to feel guilty about what their ancestors did to our ancestors in the past. No, we move on from that. We learn how to be better as people here in the world. So please continue to teach your children about black history. I'll be back next Saturday, Lord willing. Daisy, thank you, sweetie. Thank you. My mic had died. That's telling me something. I need to wrap it up here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't sing, but can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Anyways, okay. Thank you, Andy Welsh. Appreciate that call and response there. Listen, guys, thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourself. I love you. If you are a MAGA, why are you here? Why are you here on my channel? We know things are not getting better under Donald Trump. It's gotten a lot worse. Matter of fact, 90% of Americans think that 2027 is not going to be any better than 2026. So Donald Trump is never, Donald Trump, everything he campaigned on, he lied about. Everything he campaigned on about, guys. We don't have peace with Ukraine and Russia. Gas never went down under $2. Housing didn't be cut in half. Electric bills did not be cut in half. They've actually doubled, guys. So take care of yourself. I'm gonna go hang out with my son now, but I thank you. Become a channel member. And somebody said they were 74. Hold on, let me back up. Miss Daisy, bless you with your 74 beautiful years. That's what's up. My mother's gonna be 74. No, wait a minute. She's gonna be 73 in September. My mother is. But bless your heart, sweetheart. Yes, it is worse now. And I know you went through some stuff back in back in the 50s. 52, that is. God bless you guys. Take care of yourself. I love you. I will be back next Saturday. So until then, peace, love. Except for you, MAGA.